Hey there, I'm Brian Leroy Jones, Associate Marriage and Family Therapist, and I show patients just like you how you can go from anxious, depressed, and rejected to peaceful, empowered, and connected. And I do this using real-world, tangible, empirically based research strategies that you can do, whether you're 10 or 110, to achieve long-lasting results. And today, I'm going to tell you the 8 things to help you choose the right therapist for you and your situation. Hey, by the way, did you know we're in the middle of what a lot are calling the worst mental health crisis in recent history? While there's a therapist shortage, at the same time, it's still important for you just not to choose the first therapist you bump into at Starbucks, but someone who can walk with you like a guide to achieve real-world, consistent, and long-lasting results. Hey, by the way, there's other videos in this series which you're going to want to watch in order to make an informed decision about whether or not you want me to treat you. So make sure you watch them all before reaching out to me so you know whether or not you can reasonably get what you want from participating in my therapy services. With that said, here's the 8 things you're going to want to find out to help you find the right therapist for you. Here we go. Number 1, can they define what the mind and mental health is? After all, you're paying for a mental health professional to help you. Don't you think they ought to know what mental health actually is? And since the mind is a part of mental health, wouldn't you agree they better darn know what the mind actually is? I mean, if they can't tell you what these 2 things are you really going to trust them with your mind, your mental health, your time, and your hard-earned money? Number 2, you want to find a therapist who isn't stuck and struggling in their own life relationships. That doesn't mean they don't have challenges or problems or stresses. They're human beings too, right? But let me put it this way. You need a brake job for your car. Are you going to go to a mechanic who can't even fix their own brakes? Or are you going to a specialist who can fix their own brakes and, of course, your brakes? Or how about this? Summer's rolling around. You want to get lean, mean, in shape. I don't know why I'm doing this. Lean, mean, and in shape for the beach season, right? Are you going to the personal trainer who's overweight? They don't exercise. They're munching on donuts. You know, throwing down slushies or smoothies would be an improvement, or strawberry shakes. Or do you want someone who looks like Black Panther or the Hulk, right? I think you might want the latter. They might know what they're doing. Number 3, you want someone who, you know, if you're looking for couples or family therapy, they don't take one person's side or blame someone else, right? And number 4, you want someone who's willing to challenge you and isn't afraid of conflict, because if they are, they're likely not going to speak up. And if they're not going to speak up, I don't know how they're going to help you. Number 5, you don't want a therapist who's going to treat you like your buddies, right? Where you talk about the Niners, the latest Marvel show or movie. Hey, if you can't tell, I'm a big Marvel fan, by the way. You don't want someone who's going to, trade favorite vacation spots, restaurants, someone who's going to have political debates with you. You don't want someone either who's worried about whether or not you like them, and they don't need your approval. Number 6, you want a therapist who's not going to be telling you about their personal problems and looking to talk about themselves like you're at Starbucks hanging out, right? So for example, I self-disclose when I believe it'll be useful and helpful for you, like I am in these informational videos. But I'm not seeking validation or empathy from you, though, because you're not here for me, I'm here for you. And a lot of therapists are confused about this. Number 7, you don't want someone who just talks with you, right? And just listens to you and says, tell me more. How do you feel about that? Right? But you want someone who can actually affect real structural and functional improvements in your brain and your nervous system. This, by the way, is which research shows enables you and helps you to get long-lasting results. So that's necessary. You have to have that. If nothing else, you gotta have that. They have to be able to affect real functional structural changes in your brain and nervous system. Number 8, experience matters if it's the right kind of experience. Let me ask you something. If a therapist can't help themselves, I don't know, how can they help you? It would be like the blind leading the blind, right? I mean, for example, how can I drive you somewhere I've never been before? Sure, I mean, I can use Google Maps or Waze or whatever your favorite traffic app is, but if I'm just doing what Google tells me to do, what do you need me for? You don't, right? So for example, a while back, I went backpacking for a week in British Columbia. It was awesome, by the way. I've been backpacking before in other places, but I'd never been in BC, much less trying to get to the specific destination. So the group of friends that I went with, we paid a guide who had traveled this route many, many, many times before. And sure, we could have just used a map and a compass and plotted our own path, but there was a specific experience we wanted to have, a specific place we wanted to get to. In fact, there were several places we wanted to get to. And that's why we needed a guide who'd been there before to show us the right way to get there. And what this means for you is you just don't want any therapist. You don't want the cheapest therapist, the therapist with the theory you like, the first one who calls you back. You don't even want the one who's been licensed for 20 plus years. No, all that stuff is irrelevant. All that matters is one thing. Can they take you where you want to go? Do they have the right kind of experience that empowers you to get the results you want to achieve? Because if not, you're going to waste a bunch of your time and your hard-earned money and end up more frustrated than when you started. And there you have it. The 8 things you need to know to find the right therapist for you. And I hope this has been helpful. Good luck in your search. And when you're ready to experience more peace, fulfillment, and happiness in your life and relationships, call or text me at 925-261-6688. Again, 925-261-6688. Or if you want, you can email me, brianjonesamft@gmail.com. That's Brian, B-R-I-A-N, Jones, J-O-N-E-S. A for associate, M for marriage, F for family, T for therapist, AMFT, @gmail.com. I look forward to speaking with you soon. Take care.